Hi, Doug Stewart here. Today we're going to talk about speeding up your website. We're going to go into 3 specific case studies of where we had slow websites and we sped them up dramatically. So let's go ahead and get started. Back in May 28th of 2019, Google announced that mobile first indexing would be the default for all new domains. That means anytime you registered a new domain, you put out a new website, then mobile first indexing would be first, would be automatic. So what does this mean? Here in Google developers.google.com, here's an update again back in 2018. It said speed is now used as a ranking factor for mobile searches. So we've heard it right from Google's mouth. For mobile searches, speed is a ranking factor. 53% of visits are abandoned if a mobile site takes more than 3 seconds to load. Mobile sites that loaded in 2 seconds or less had a 15% higher conversion rate than the average mobile site. And then as a page load, as that time goes from 1 second to 3 seconds, the probability of someone bouncing from your website increases 32%. That when page load time goes from 1 second to 5 seconds, the probability of bouncing increases to 90%. When you increase that to 6 seconds, the probability of bouncing increases to 106%. And when it's 1 second to 10 seconds, the probability of bouncing increases 123%. On top of all of that, as of August 17th of 2020, Google Chrome is going to highlight fast pages on mobile. It's going to put a little check mark with this fast page to it. So it's pretty important to do. So let's go to our first case study. And it's an event registrations nightmare. This is taken from an actual review from a customer, and it said previously the site was so slow people would call to register after getting frustrated. Receiving 50 calls from frustrated members trying to register under a time limit was not fun. Now the site runs great, and he goes on and tells more. But let's go in and see what happened. So why were the registrations so slow? First, they were using an old version of Event Espresso. That's a plugin, a WordPress plugin to manage events. Besides it being old, it was really overkill for what they wanted to accomplish too. They were also using a database plugin which had tons of data on it that they really weren't using. It was dragging things down also. They had lots of out-of-date plugins installed on the website. They were using a theme that was no longer supported from Theme Forest, and it was also hosted on a VPS with DreamHost, and that's a very inexpensive way to host your website. And it just doesn't have a lot of, you're bound to have a slow WordPress website with that, using that hosting. So here's what we did. We replaced Event Espresso with Gravity Forms, and we stripped down the forms to what was the bare minimum that was needed to accomplish the job. We removed all unused plugins. We replaced the old outdated theme with Beaver Builder and Beaver Themer. And we wouldn't be just replacing it with Beaver Builder and Beaver Themer isn't the only way to have sped this up. You could have used a newer theme, building a faster speed theme, but this is just part of our regular process. That's why we use Beaver Builder. We moved from DreamHost VPS to DreamHost Managed WP hosting, and the reason is they wanted to stick with DreamHost, and if we moved to Managed WP hosting, they had more memory and lots of different things that automatically kept the site loading faster. We installed the Autoptimize plugin, which we'll discuss a little bit more as we go on. We also installed Enable gzip compression plugin and installed the Short Pixel Image Optimizer plugin. And this was their old website, and this is the new one, and you'll see this has a slider with extremely large images, so you would think huge, beautiful, big images that were on a slider where you had several, that it would slow the website down, but we sped it up from and now we've got, according to GTMetrix, it's got a page speed score of A, 99%, a B, Y slow score, and the fully loaded time of 2.2 seconds. That's pretty fast. So it was a great speed up. So let's go on to case study number 2. And this one, the website's not showing on Google. It's crashing and taking over 7 seconds to load. So let's go. Here's the review from this particular client. It says, for a few months our website was not showing on Google, and we were updating it on Google, but it was just not working, and the website kept on crashing even if we were updating it. And it goes on, but let's get into the case study. So why was the website taking over 7 seconds to load and crashing all the time? Had lots of plugins and they weren't updated. The theme was not updated. WordPress was not updated. Images not updated. And it was an outdated version of PHP. The theme they were using, again, if you're, some of the older versions of PHP were just a lot slower. So they also used was Sydney, and they were using Elementor. And Elementor can be very fast when used with different configurations and things. So Elementor was really not the issue here. But they were also using cheap hosting, which was definitely part of the issue. So what did we do? We rebuilt the website with Beaver Builder and Beaver Themer. Again, didn't have to use Beaver Builder and Beaver Themer to do that. It's just part of our process, and it did help us. We did need to replace that theme, that Sydney theme, because it was part of the culprit on the slowness. We removed unused plugins. We moved hosting to Liquid Web. Hosting alone can dramatically change your speed of a website. We installed Autoptimize plugin. We installed Enable gzip compression plugin. We installed Short Pixel Image Optimizer plugin. And we installed WP Super Cache. And we also, since this particular website on the homepage had a YouTube video, and you wouldn't think that if you embedded something from Google, YouTube, that it would slow your website down, but it does. We installed this WP YouTube Lite, and what it does is it loads a thumbnail image and does not load the actual video while the page is loading, and it only loads it once you hit the button to look at the video, which helps out your speed a lot. So that's one of the things we did. So let's go on. Okay, so here's what happened. It was taking over 7 seconds to load. Now it's got a page speed score of 98%, an A, Y slow score a B, and it's loading in 3 seconds. So it dropped over 4 seconds in speed, and that's a huge jump. All right, so let's go to case study number 3. The website was taking 7.1 seconds to load. So why was it doing this? It was using, the website's my website, our company website. Shame on us for doing this, letting this do. We were using cheap hosting, DreamHost VPS. We had video and map embeds. We have multiple CSS and JS files, JavaScript files that could be combined. And this is a real common thing with WordPress because you have because people use different plugins and everything. And so you've got you do a lot of times have multiple CSS and JavaScript files, and combining them and doing them in a certain way can really speed up the load time on your website. And the images were not optimized as well as they could be. So, actions taken. We moved hosting to Liquid Web. We installed a Toptimize plugin. We installed Enable gzip compression plugin. We installed the Short Pixel Image Optimizer plugin. We installed WP YouTube Lite. And here's the before. We had a C page speed score, 71%, a D 62%, Y slow score, a fully loaded time of 7.1 seconds. Page was 1.69 meg and 76 requests. Now let's see what happened after the speed up. We had an A, 96%, B, Y slow, 2.46, much smaller page size, and our request went from 76 to 39. Huge improvement. All right, so let's talk about each of the plugins that we used in these 3 case studies. We use Autoptimize, and as it says right here, Autoptimize speeds up your website by optimizing JavaScript, JS, CSS, images, HTML, and Google. It also, a lot of times what happens is your Google fonts will take a while to load. This Autoptimize also helps you load your fonts faster and in a better way. So we use Autoptimize. Second was we used Enable gzip compression. So we were able to compress the files on the website for faster loading. The next thing, I don't think we use Smush image on any of these in the case study, but we do use this. It works it works very similar to it optimizes your images. It helps reduce the file size, and you can see huge speed changes by doing this. Really improves your speed dramatically. It's like, and one of the things you can also do is this next gen WebP conversion. That can really help out your page speeds also. Really like Smush. Their free version is great. They also have a paid version that is equally good. I prefer this one, Short Pixel Image Optimizer, and I think that's what the one we used on all of these. It is a paid plugin also. One of the reasons that I like it better is because of this. They offer monthly plans, but you can also do these one-time plans where you can optimize 10,000 images for just $10, and you're not stuck with getting charged every month. So I like the short pixel the best. It and Smush are great options, though. You do a great job with those. Next, one of the other plugins we used was WP YouTube Lite, and it's like I said, when you have embedded YouTube video, instead of loading the whole video onto your website when the page loads, what it does is it loads just the thumbnail, and then you can, once you hit the thumbnail, click on it to load the video, it loads the video, and you would think that there might be some lag time or not. You don't know. I've never experienced any time where using this where you actually felt like you had to wait for the video to load. It just seemed natural. You didn't notice that there was anything different. So it's a great plug-in to use if you've got embedded YouTube videos on your website. Also used WP Super Cache, and Cache, what it does is it saves images and files and everything, or your HTML page, and it saves it in short-term memory so that it automatically pops up without using your servers, using all the server's resources and reloading the page. Just makes it much faster. This is actually by Automatic, and Automatic is the company behind WordPress. So it's a great plug-in that you can trust on your website. So what happens if your website is still slow? Okay. When we went through all these, I was showing you GTmetrix.com. That's one service you can use to run these speed tests. And when you click on these little arrows over here, it will open up and show you the exact, the details. So you can go in and find some of these details and fix them. If the plugins did not fix them, you can go in and fix it. Like this particular one says that there's an image on this page that is 1024 by 821, and we're only in the size. That's the size of the image when it was uploaded, and the size that it's really needed is 296 by 237. So if you reduced the size of that to the 296 by 237 and uploaded it, that would fix a lot of it would be a 91% reduction here. So you can go in and you can find other ways to tweak and fix those issues. Another thing that you can use, which we didn't talk about, is a content delivery network, also known as CDN. Cloudflare here is one of them, and it is it's a great. They have a lot of different ways to manage your images and different things on your website and serve them dynamically, and it improves speed, and also it also helps with security. We didn't go over that, but you can also do that to help you out. Another thing that you can do is you may have if you've got an older website that's been on WordPress for several years, and you've had plugins installed and uninstalled, and you've had, or you may have some databases, you have different things in there. All those plugins that you had installed on the website and have taken off the website, many of those still have the data in the database. So using a tool like a plugin like WP Sweep to clean out that database could help you also, or optimize your database tables. This is one that is highly recommended. There's another one out there, I can't think of it right now, but clean up your database. There's a couple of good plugins that you can use to do that, and WP Sweep is one of them. So, if you want more information, or if you want a copy of this slide deck, we have a brochure that you can download. It's 5 reasons why your slow website is costing you sales and how to fix them. And you also get this slide deck with it. Just go to our website, or it's also, if you're looking at this on YouTube, there'll be a link in the description below where you can just link and go to it, and you can download this slide deck and also the brochure, 5 reasons why your slow website is costing you sales and how to fix them. Hope you enjoyed this, and hope it helps you have a much faster loading website in the future.